everybody, welcome back to the dumbest modeling channel on all of YouTube, Pit Stay and Hobbies. We're back with the awesome Agora Models A6M Zero. We got pack 11 here. If anyone's interested in building this ridiculously cool model, the link's below to Agora. Also, if you want to check out any of the stuff I use, there's an Amazon link down there and a Buy Me a Coffee link, because I don't spend it on coffee. Here we go. Whispering's creepy. Either way, here we go. So we're going to start off with stage 85. And there it is right there. And we're going to take this and put this aside over somewhere yonder here. Hold on a second. One moment, please. Okay. There's 85. And this is part of the power and lifting device. Critical to get all these things assembled correctly. If you get anything wrong, stuff's just not going to work. So follow the instructions very closely. And let's see what we need here. So we got to take our metal tube here. Let's get in a little closer here. Get a little closer now. There we go. We got a chromed plastic metal tube and a couple of little plugs with wire harnesses on them. And the screw 8506. So they don't label the screws in here, so you got to figure it out. This has some smaller screws. Okay, these are the big IKEA type screws. And then these are all like there we go, those screws. Okay, so it's going to be this bag with the skinny and the tiny screws. And we're going to need two of the tiny ones. Right there. It's a little tricky with the screws. These are like 8506 and 8. So I'm just marking the bag 85.6 and 8. And then these are the 8507s. 7. And then these are just some big fat 85.9s. I hear yelling upstairs. I think one of the dogs is doing something they shouldn't be doing. Who knows? It's just like, no, no. The sound effects we get here sometimes are just hilarious. So, let's see here. Does it matter which end of the tube is which? They both look the same. So we're going to take the one with the longer wires and put those through the tube. And there is a screw hole here that we need to get one of these screws in. Let's see. Not the tweezers. Let's see. Yep, right there. Oh, for fudge sickles. Let's see. In the hole you go. Okay, so that's in, and that has, 5 contacts there, even though there's only 4 wires. Probably one's doubled up somewhere. Then we want to take these two things. So I'm confused which one's which. Push the large socket, large socket. They're both the same size sockets. Does it matter which one goes in which? That's a good question. Let's see. That one has white to white and black to black. And this one is white to white and black to black. Does it matter which one's which? Kind of confused. I guess. Is one of these longer than the other? Those are both the same length. The large socket. Push the small socket. These are two different sockets. These are the same sockets. Let me look at the instructions a little more. I'll be right back. All right, I've got it figured out, I think. Okay, so here's possibly where some people could go wrong. This is very critical right here. In the instructions, these two plugs aren't the same size. One's small and one's bigger. And you can't get the polarity wrong. But this is a pass-through connector. So if you see on the ends of these plugs, they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but there's no such marking on these connectors. So what we're going to do is the one that has 1 and 2, I'm going to take a little tiny permanent marker. We're going to put a little 1 on that. And then this one, on the one that's for 1 and 2, we're going to go ahead and put a little black marker mark on that one. So that way, when we put them in the hole, you know, we won't be able to see these anymore, but we'll see our little mark that we made on the wire connectors, so we'll know which way they go. So that's my solution here, because something got changed at the factory. I don't think Agora is even aware of that. I am going to let them know about that, to maybe update the instructions with these type of steps. We'll see. They're very good about doing that and updating things. Okay, I'm going to fiddle with the screw. I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I've got that one little screw in, I know sometimes me putting a screw in a hole on video, something goes sideways. And then we're going to take our 2 wires that we've hash marked, and we're going to fit those together. And then the other one is the other one by default, you know. And then we got to shove. We're just going to shove all these wires in the hole carefully. We don't want to like damage anything. And there we go. Come on, come on. Come on, you pesky little bugger. Use something plastic to push them down. Don't use anything sharp. We don't want to do any damage. And we're going to shove that fella in there and get one more screw in here. And we'll be right... Oh, screw it. Why don't we try it right on camera here? There we go. Okay. So now that we have this done, this I think is a critical point right here. So you have both of those lined up, and 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not using 3. It's using 1, 2, 4, and 5 in this connector. There's nothing soldered on to number 3 in that 5-hole connector, but 1 and 2 goes to 1 and 2 here, and 4 and 5 go to 4 and 5 here. My brain just says that's the right way to do it. But yeah, again, I am going to contact them about that. Assembling the device. So now we got to get some part from stage 84. I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got this thing from stage 84, and you can see 1, 2, and 4, 5. And on this cable, on these cables, this one definitely has a larger one and the smaller one. I don't know what the factory might have just subbed out a cable by accident. So like I said, I'm gonna mention that. We just got to screw this down to this white piece with 1, 2, 3 screws from stage 84, and I'll get one of those going. There we go. And get one of them in there, and we'll get the other 2 in here and here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's in there very nicely. We're going to take this part, put it in this orientation, take this fella, take our little shiny metal rods, which we might want to put some shmoo on. I love my shmoo. Lubricant is always a good idea. There we go. Let's just shove these in the holes here. And then I'm going to go ahead, take a tiny bit of our silicone lubricant. You can find it in my Amazon store. I'm just going to put it in the bottom of these 2 little holes here. And then just a little dab will do you. I'm going to slide her on just like that. Make sure your wires are staying out there safely. We got to grab another part from 83. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to take this frame from stage 83. And we're going to take our cables, run them up through here. And then this is a little tricky. Just make sure you get the cables over the frame here. Okay, hold on a second. Probably easier if we just take this whole thing with its metal rods and get the rods out of here. There we go. We'll just put this inside of here. Ah, okay. We'll just put this inside of here like this. And we'll put the rods down. And then we'll just lower the entire assembly into place. Get it located on all its pegs. There we go. And get the metal rods in their little holes. Push this whole thing down so everything lines up like that, and our cables are here. Okay, so when this goes up and down, the wires are free to move about the cabin. And we just squeezy. There we go. Okay, so that's it. All right. Always an easier way to do things. Now I need 8507 screws. It's 6 of those. Come on. Oh, these Ziploc bags. Come on, guys. This is the hardest part of the build for me, is fighting with the Ziploc bags. Almost. Pretty much. We're going to go here. We're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws in there, and I will be right back. Okay, just a quick FYI, those screws go in through the top, not the bottom, but the 6 holes were identified correctly, just they go in through the top. That's that. Now we need more stuff from 83. Hold on, let me go get a limit switch set up. I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got our little limit switch assembly that we've made previously. We're going to lift up this block. We're going to slide this little notch thing in. There we go. And now what we want to do is make sure that we push this limit switch in. Get this in the middle. And then we're going to send that guy home. Okay. I'm going to take our 8307 screw and put that right in there like that. These are all critical things to get just right. So this way your limit switches work properly. Those wires are out there. And now we need to grab the lifting device, and we need 6302. Oh, I gotta get some more screws, I guess. Let me see, 6305. No, I have them. I have the 6305 screws. I need a couple plates and a lifting device. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're putting this mamma jamma aside for now. Along with that, taking out one of the lifting frames we've previously made. We've got 2 of these that are they're identical. There's no difference. I double checked them, I triple checked them. We're gonna take our lifting motor, and we want to make sure we get that rod in there. Now, this is some slippery, like some sort of nylon-y plastic, I guess. It doesn't mean it doesn't want a little bit of shmoo. So we're gonna just shmoo up this rod a little bit with our silicone grease. That's not necessary. I'm doing it because I want to. I'm gonna get the rod into that slot, put this down. Then we've got a longer and a shorter plate to hold those on. I'm gonna put those on. We're gonna get 4 of these 7108 or 6305 screws in there. Get 4 of these guys in here. So we're making some serious progress on all the mechanisms it's gonna make our Zero fly. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna get the rest of these screws and I'll be right back. All right, so we've gone ahead and just assembled the second one because we're gonna need it soon. But now let's put this aside. Let's put this aside because we've got to get out a big piece of IKEA furniture. I'll be right back. Okay, so we got everything in frame, just barely. I have to zoom out a tiny bit more even. Oh, there we go. That's good enough. We want to get this lifting assembly in. Let's make sure our wires stay out of the way. Now we have 6 holes on the bottom of this guy. we're going to put it down on these 6 right here. Okay. And what we want to do at that point is we are going to screw it down with 6 of the large IKEA screws from a previous stage. You can't mistake these for anything else. 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to get 6 of these big guys in here. And I'm going to do 2 corners first, just to align everything. There we go. And I think what we'll do is probably get out a slightly bigger screwdriver. Yeah, that's a little better. And get the rest of these. Come on. There we go. Get those in. I'm going to get the last 3 in, and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's bolt it down. Now we got the other one. This verse, same as the first. 6 more IKEA screws. Come on, Ian. It's not that late in the day yet. There we go. Let's just, here we go. Get these 6 in here. This is pretty cool, I gotta say. All the mechanisms going on. Let's say, Agora's Bismarck probably has quite a bit going on in it mechanically as well, with all the turrets and everything. But I don't know if it's got more little gee-whiz thingy-bobbers in it than the Zero. This display base is pretty ridiculous. You can see on camera better than I can see in person. Okay, so we got all those in. Again, our wires are nice and clear. So this is Z1 and J2. Uh-oh. Z1 and J2, and that's J1 and Z2. I gotta make sure I've got all these things right, because if I don't, this thing's gonna be all cattywampus. So now I've got to go back to the issues. So yeah, I'm gonna have some advice soon. Bear with me. Okay, so here's where we're at. These units look identical, and they are identical, but the labeling on the wires is not identical. So this one says J1 for this, and Z1 for this. That's where this should be. J1 and Z1, okay? And then obviously J2 and Z2 right here. I pulled up the Pack 12 instructions where you're going to start plugging everything into the central motherboard. That's how you should have it, okay? So J1 and Z1, J2 and Z2. Again, they look identical because they are physically identical, except for these labels. So if you screw that up, oh boy, you're not going to have a successful test of your base. And that's it for the stage. That's complete with right there. So now, this is turning into a long video. We're going to go to 86, and luckily it's just some simple wingy pieces and stuff. I got to get this put aside, and I'll be right back. Well, we're back with stage 86. This is going to be a long video, everybody. I don't know. Spent a lot of time in the base. But let's get these out of here. Carefuling. Come on, screws. There we go. Okay. That's out. Garbage. We got a couple little screws here. We got the metal skin for the top here of this tail. Let's see. Yeah, she goes right into place. And right about there we go. Oh. And then the bottom we'll crazy glue on and sandwich them together. Now we've got some better clamps now. I saw these things at Home Depot and I was like, these look great. I bought a couple of these. They were not cheap. I think they were like $8 each, or $9 each. Maybe they were $12 each. I don't know, they were a lot. And then I went to Harbor Freight and I found the same thing for like $2 and change a piece. So I got a whole bunch of these bad boys. That's gonna make gluing this together a hell of a lot easier. But yeah, let's get this. Oh, Papapi. Okay. off of here for now, and then let's see how this is gonna want to fit. It's got pegs, not there. Looks like this hole and this peg are gonna line up. There we go. And then those pegs and those holes are gonna line up. So what do we want to do? We want glue on all these plastic pegs. And do we not want glue on here? It doesn't say to glue them necessarily. So either way, I'm gonna get these things glued down, and yeah, there we go. Let's just whatever. Here we go. Let's just get some glue on there. Just a little dab will do you. You don't want to go crazy here. And I put a little bit on just the tip over here and kind of wipe it on there, because those like to separate sometimes. And then we're gonna get this in place, get all of those in there. Then do we want to glue anything? I think it wants us to just put glue on this one for some reason. So okay, whatever floats your boat. I don't know, I just feel like there should be a tiny bit on these posts here also. We're just going to get that on there. It looks good. That's good. I'm going to slide these little clamps out. And just a little bit of pressure. I'm going to take a look at this fitment, and I'm not happy with that. This is not, there we go. So what we're going to do, this edge wasn't snapped fully together, so I just snapped it together, and we're going to get that clamp on there. Then I think we're going to, oh, that's stupid. Now I can't lay it down. So let me get this clamp over here. You don't need a ton of clamping force, just enough to squeeze them together. Don't go crazy. Don't Incredible Hulk those clamps down. We may want one more. There we go. Perfect. Crazy glue only takes a few minutes, so I'm going to let these set up and I'll be right back. All right, so our tail skin's all nice and glued on. Looks good. Now for this, we got to put this front cap on here. That will require us pulling off, I already loosened the carburetor and air intake, and that will then need us to put this on here. But what I think we're going to need is some glue. And I would have known that had I read the instructions further along. No glue. Negative on the glue. So what we're going to do is get our little screws out here. And then this has some pegs that should go right in. And the machine guns clear it. Now push that down. There we go. And then we're going to put two screws, one here and one here. And I will be back, momentarily. This thing's getting a little awkward to handle. I just got crazy glue on the bottom of my forearm. Great. One sec. Alrighty. Well, that's screwed in. Screws there and there. We pushed our air intake and carburetor back on. It's looking pretty cool, I gotta say. This is pretty badass. There we are. Now we've got to build another lift motor for our base assembly. These are a little on the boring side. But we've already done 2 of them. How much more tutorial do we need? But yeah, we'll get this thing thrown together real quick here. I mean, I've got this assembly of these things in multiple other episodes, so it's going to just be more of the same. I'm kind of going to power through it and give an overview. I'll be right back. Okay, so just like the other ones, motor goes here, the 3 metal rods go in, the bigger gear goes here, the 2 smaller gears stack up here and here, and then this big guy goes on right there with this sticking out over here and that flat pointing down. And then, if you don't drop the whole mechanism cover in your lap like I just did, it just squeezes and snaps together. And Bob, there's your uncle. Bob's your uncle? Yeah, Bob's your uncle. Oh my God, Ian. Can't even get the simple ones right. And we're going to need to grab our final lift assembly, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we got our 3rd lift assembly, the one with the power port on it. This fella is going to go, let's see here. Yeah, this thing's going to go in here. So we need to lift this up. And I'm going to put a little bit of lube in this slot. Just kind of rub it around in there. That sounded dirty. Get our little lift assembly there. She's about right in the middle. It looks like a good place to have it. Our little retainer caps. One's longer than the other, so they'll only fit in one way. Short one goes over here. Longer one over here. Then 4 screws. These 85-8 screws. We'll get those in and we'll be right back. Okay, that's screwed in now. So now what we need to do, and I'm going to brace the bottom of this, is, yeah, we're going to, this thing won't, I don't think this will move manually. It doesn't want to. There's no slipper clutches in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our fingers under here, and you can see the pin layout. So we're going to take the notch is going to go like at the top here. That screw is catching a little, but I don't think it really matters. There we go. We've got that through. So now this is the one that's going to connect to the back of the plane like so. This thing rotates about. So this thing has some give in it. So this will end up ultimately getting plugged in to that. And that will be what's powering the airplane from the base. That's pretty cool. I mean, I knew that's kind of how it worked, but it's nice to see it coming together. And pay attention to those tips from the beginning of the video with make sure, you get those wires matched up because they don't have the dissimilar size plugs. Now stage 88, let's see. We've got some cockpit stuff happening. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Timmy. You ever saw a cockpit? Oh, we're not going there. Let's get out stage 88 parts. Ah, yes, here we go. So let's get that ripped open. Get these opened up. And get this pulled out. Now, oh boy, some people are going to start smelling their own fear. What we have here, boys and girls, are water slide decals. All right? These can be intimidating for people. Some people, they don't have experience with water slide decals. They may have tried them before and failed. But I'm going to do my best to help everybody be an absolute champ at water slide decals. All right? Whatever term you want to put in there, I don't know. But we're gonna do what we can. We've got a couple of little bits and pieces to put on first, of course, though. So let's open this up without hopefully launching any parts. Look at that, magic. We've got, ooh, what's this? This has to go on. Ooh. So we got the little nose piece that goes somewhere in here. This doesn't really. This just go on like. There we go. You got to squeeze the sides together a little to get her in, but yep, that fits beautifully. Paint finish matches perfectly. Very nice. Insert the engine assembly. Insert the jack. Insert the jack while inserting the engine protrusion into the slit of the machine. At the same time, insert the pin of the... Uh-oh. I screwed up. I'm supposed to insert the engine and this cover at the same time. This is what I get for not reading instructions fully. I'll be right back. Okay, well, we got that cover off easy enough. So now we got to insert this because this has to go in there. So the little headphone jack goes in there, and then this slot goes right in there. So that insert fairly easily, very drama-free. And now this part, there we go. Whoo! So that locks the whole engine module into place. There we are. I didn't put the propeller on just yet because I'm saving that for later. We got a little... What is this little thing on here? Okay. So we got that done. Let's go to the next. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we've got to put these other parts on. Now this has four posts, and there's 4 holes here. And that should just push right on. If I could find the centering pin. Come on. There we go. That looks like it. Nope. Is that snapped in all the way? That's a good snug. There we go. Fit. Make sure you push in from the edges. There we go. Positive click. Quite the snap, actually, more than a click. There we go. This whole plane got to get squeezed together a little bit. And then we're going to get the front canopy on for the cockpit. It's got 3 little posts. Those look fairly delicate. So we're gonna do a little bit of carefuling here and push that into place. Is that in? No, it's not in, is it? It's clear so you can see through it to see where your pins are going. Oh dear. That is a tricky little snap to snap in. Get in, get in. There we go. She doesn't want to go in. Oh, I broke a peg off. Oh, I broke 2 pegs off. Okay, I guess we're gluing this sucker. Okay, be carefuler than me. Lesson number 1. So we got 1 peg. Let me glue. It's going to go right here. I'm just going to put a couple dabs of crazy glue. It'll be fine. Ooh, crazy glue. Got to be careful. You don't want haze on your windshield. Maybe not crazy glue. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Now we got to get this in. We got that glued down without too much hazing. The one way to avoid CA glue haze is to quickly hit it with zip kicker or CA accelerator. It works well, not perfect. I have a tiny bit of haze in that front glass, but it's fine. It's going to look more period correct. Slightly delaminating glass. So this, well, that slides right the hell off. So we need to get this in place. And this has 4 more of those little clear, delicate pegs. So we're going to be extra careful with these. Right? Right in. Going to be, oh God. Okay. And now we can slide the canopy back, and it has a positive stop so it doesn't come off, even though it's you could still take it off pretty easily because we got to get our pilot in there. That looks pretty cool. Let's take a look. And you'll know which way this goes on because you'll see when you pop it on the first time if this isn't even with that, you got a problem. You can just turn it around. It pops off very easily. Should you need to redo it. And now Careful for our landing gear. We got to build a little air intake here, possibly a radiator intake. That's it for those parts. And let's see what we got. So we're just going to need a little glue here. We're going to put a tiny bit of CA glue on here. We're going to take this little grate. We're going to put that in there, just like that. And then we got this little part. Let's dry fit this first so we know which way it goes. Yeah, just like that. So then we got to get a little, oh, come on, focus. Get a little CA glue right here and here. And then pop this down. Oh, come on. Let's not glue ourselves to the part. I'm married to my work. Gives a whole new meaning. Let's see. There we are. There's that. Pardon me. We're going to take the whole plane, and this is getting a little precarious. And we got to put that onto these two pegs right here. Ah, this is good. I like this part. There we go. Look at that. Nice. Get that nice Mitsubishi profile. And there's going to be a couple probably little intakes right here and here on the wings, which will be reminiscent of the Hawkeye Subarus that came out a while back in like 2016. 2006. Oh my God. So I'm getting old. And we're supposed to put our bottom plate back on. I'm going to hold off on that for the moment, just because. Yeah, there we go. Now we have something that will take our laying down on the workbench force instead of it all being hit with the landing gear. I want to take that engine. Oh, that engine looks so cool. It's so cool. We'll put that back on. That looks awesome. Very nice. Okay, moving forward, moving onward. Attaching the mesh cover and assembling the display pedestal. Okay, so the plane's out of here, and we're going to come back to the display base. I'll be right back. One sec. Okay, here's stage 89. What we got here? Got some metal plates. Let's see what we got. Piece of IKEA right there. We got some screws. Don't want to come out. Another speaker grill, even though I don't think that gets a speaker. One speaker's plenty. Someone's probably like, stereo sound, who needs that? So no big deal. And here we are. I don't think I've ever seen a partwork kit with stereo sound. I don't think I've ever seen a kit with sound that had stereo sound. But you can correct me if I'm wrong. We've got to take one of these braces and put that on right there. So the way I do this is I just get one screw just started with a few threads. Get the other one on the screwy driver and get that one started. Then kind of hold them level. It'll sort of level itself out automatically. There we go. There we are. Nice and strong. Yeah, enough bracing. You could make anything hold up a tank, I guess. Let's see. What else? We got to take this thing in this orientation and drop that plate in there and drop this plate on there. And then we're going to get a couple screws into there and there. I'll be right back. That's not exciting. Okay, so now we're going to get this panel snugged into place right there. This bracket is one we had from a previous stage that we were saving, and we're going to get that screwed in with 2 down here. Get one just a little snug. Then 2 more screws here, 1 more screw here. We'll be right back. Okay, those are in, along with this top plate right here. 2 screws holding that in, and that's it for this stage. This thing is getting ridiculously big. Dear. Okay, checking. Stage will be checking the rising sun decals for the top panel of the left wing. Checking. We're just checking things. Okay, so let's check our decals. I'll be right back. Let me put this thing somewhere. So we're going to do 90 and 92 at the same time because it's really just checking. You're not assembling anything. It's just making sure that everything, that you got everything. That's really it. So let's look at this wing. Looks good. There's some red lenses that'll shine through from inside. And then we want to just make sure we got 3 screws. Yes. We want to make sure we have our wing decals. There we go. Beautiful. Those are big. So we got 4, and each wing needs 2, which is interesting. They're giving you spares. Because like I said, if you've never done water slides before, they can be, not the one at the fun park, where you're getting your swim trunks and go down the tube. But water slide decals, it's not that hard. You don't necessarily need any special products. Oh, this one has the green lenses in it. Very nice. You just want to make sure that you've got everything you need. Let's see here. Big roundels for the bottom and little roundels. Okay. So let's see. We should have 4 smaller roundels, which we do. Very nice. We'll put those back in the Ziploc bag, keep those safe. We're not doing any water slide applications yet, and we still have our other ones from before. That scared everybody a little. And then some more screws. So that's really it. So I'm just going to label these screw bags 90 and 92. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. We're going to get crazy. I'm going to take a little bit of tape and just tape these screw bags to their parts. Boom, done. We'll put these somewhere safe for now because we got to get back onto the base. We're doing a little more work on that. One sec. Okay, so here's stage 91. More base parts. There's not a heck of a lot of parts left for that plane, so it's definitely going to be a bunch of base items. I got a couple plastic doodads there. Some more IKEA furniture pieces. Very nice. We'll just put that over there for now. We got another thing of, where's my hobby knife? There it is. Let's just get these. There we go. Another bag of beefy screws. Some more bracketry. There we go. And we got this thing. I don't know what is on there. I think it was a plankton. Not sure. What makes it into the packaging in these things in foreign lands? I don't know. We're going to take this big mamma jamma. And I guess I got to zoom out a little more here. There we go. Now this is gonna go right here. So that's where this goes. And it's gonna be 6 screws to bolt this down. So we want this motor facing forward. This one says Z3. So this one is the lifting motor Z1, Z2, and Z3 in Z motor. Okay, so we'll get this plate screwed down. We'll be right back. Okay, so the final thing we have to do is mount the motherboard mount plate. So it's going to be those 4 holes right there. And like just start one in one corner, then go to the opposite corner. And just that. Just get them sort of started in there. And this thing has quite a bit of wiggle room. I'm gonna just err on the side of backwards of this way, just because I want it to be even. You don't need to go crazy tight on these. You just start cracking plastic. There we go. That's it, everybody. We have a few extra bits left over. We got that, those. We got this thing. The whole plane's over there, sitting on a shelf now, with its wings laying next to it. So this is cool. All the lifting mechanisms and the main connector is done. Again, mind your wire numbers and letters. This is J1 and Z1, J2 and Z2, and then this is J3 and Z3. Then we got these 2 connectors here, which W and T, and they're different sizes, so we can't get them mixed up. But this whole thing, if you get your wires crossed here, bad things would happen probably. Also, if you didn't have these in the correct place, then other things, so the thing wants to go left, it's going to go right, it's left, and then it's just, you have different limit switches. This thing's moving up, but it's expecting this limit switch to tell it. So you got to make sure all of your wires are where they should be. If you need any help, refer to the Stage 12 instructions where they have all the final wiring for the base. But this was Pack 11. Pack 12 is up next. We'll get to that soon. I'm very excited to finish this model up. It's awesome. If it does what I think it's going to do, it's going to be pretty friggin' spectacular. And everybody's going to want one. No. Well, most people are going to want one. Everyone who can afford one is going to want one, and then you can go get one. And everyone who can't afford one wants one. Just save up, and then you can get one. Easy enough. And they also have 12 and 24-month plans. You don't have to buy this whole thing at once. So that's nice. Click the links below. Amazon and, of course, Agora Models. You can get all the stuff. Screwdriver. I got these. Look at these Japanese vessel screwdrivers. You know you want one. Either way, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Adios, everybody.